My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever felt that quiet discomfort in your heart, that uneasiness that doesn't let you rest, even when everything around you seems fine? You try to ignore it. You tell yourself it's nothing. You distract your mind. You keep yourself busy. But deep down, something keeps whispering, this is not right. Let me tell you something powerful today. That feeling is not random. That discomfort is not meaningless. That is a warning from Allah, a sign meant for you, a message trying to pull you back before it's too late. But the question is, how many times has Allah warned you and you still chose to ignore it? And right now, as you are listening to this, ask yourself honestly, where are you watching this from? And what time is it in your city or country? The silent warnings you feel inside. My beloved brothers and sisters, before anything happens in your life on the outside, something always happens within. Before a mistake becomes visible, before a regret becomes heavy, before a consequence becomes painful, there is always a moment, a quiet moment where your heart speaks to you. You feel it. That slight hesitation, that uncomfortable pause, that inner resistance that tells you don't go there, don't say this, don't continue down this path. It is not loud. It does not force you. It does not shout over your desires. It simply whispers gently, consistently, patiently. And that whisper is not weakness. That whisper is guidance. Allah, in His mercy, did not leave you without direction. He placed within you a compass, a sense that distinguishes between what brings you closer to Him and what pulls you away. But here is the reality. The more you ignore that inner voice, the quieter it becomes. Not because it disappears, but because you train yourself not to hear it. Think about the first time you did something you knew was not right. Your heart felt heavy. Your chest tightened. You could not fully enjoy it. There was a discomfort that stayed with you. That was your warning. That was your protection. But what happened the second time? It became easier. The third time, even easier, until one day, what once disturbed you no longer affects you at all. And that is where the real danger begins. Because when the heart stops reacting, it does not mean you are strong. It means something inside you has become numb. And a numb heart does not recognize danger until it is too late. My beloved brothers and sisters, understand this deeply. Allah does not need to send a dramatic sign every time you are about to go wrong. Sometimes the smallest feeling inside you is already a complete warning. That discomfort you brush aside, that is enough. That hesitation you ignore, that was your chance to turn back. But we live in a time where people silence their hearts constantly. We surround ourselves with noise. We keep our minds distracted. We avoid sitting in silence because silence forces us to listen to what we have been ignoring. And so we continue step after step, ignoring warning after warning until the consequences arrive. And then we say, why did this happen to me? But the truth is, it didn't come suddenly. You were warned again and again, quietly, gently, mercifully. The problem was never the absence of guidance. The problem was that we chose not to listen. So today, I want you to reflect. When was the last time your heart tried to stop you and you ignored it? When was the last time you felt that uneasiness, but you convinced yourself to move forward anyway? That moment, that exact moment, was Allah giving you a chance to turn back, a chance to protect yourself, a chance to choose a better path. Do not underestimate those silent warnings. They are not small. They are not insignificant. They are one of the greatest signs of Allah's mercy upon you. Because as long as your heart still speaks, as long as you still feel that discomfort, as long as something inside you still resists what is wrong, it means Allah has not abandoned you. He is still guiding you. He is still calling you. He is still warning you before it's too late. When Allah blocks your path, my beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments in your life when you want something so deeply that it begins to feel like your entire future depends on it. You think about it constantly. You plan for it. You imagine your happiness connected to it. You convince yourself that this is exactly what you need. And then everything starts going wrong. The door you were sure would open closes. The opportunity you were waiting for disappears. The person you were holding on to walks away. And no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how many times you try again, nothing moves. At that moment, most people become frustrated. They begin to question, why is this happening to me? Why is Allah taking this away from me when I want it so badly? But my beloved brothers and sisters, listen carefully. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. Allah says in the Quran, perhaps you dislike a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you, and Allah knows while you do not know. Reflect on this deeply. You are looking at your situation with limited vision. You see what you want right now. You see what feels good in this moment. But Allah sees what this path will lead to. He sees the pain you don't see yet. He sees the damage that has not happened yet. He sees the consequences that are still hidden from you. So, when something is blocked in your life, it is not always a loss. It can be a warning that this path is not meant for you. A warning that what you are chasing could harm you. A warning that you are moving in a direction that will lead you away from peace. But here is where many people make a serious mistake. Instead of stepping back, they push harder. They try to force doors open that Allah has clearly closed. They go back to people who were removed from their lives. They chase the same outcome again and again, even when everything is telling them to stop. And in doing so, they turn a warning into a disaster. My beloved brothers and sisters, if Allah blocks something once, it may be a gentle sign. If He blocks it again and again, it is no longer gentle. It is clear. The problem is not that Allah is not guiding you. The problem is that you are not accepting the guidance. You keep asking for signs, but you ignore the ones already given. You keep asking for clarity, but you refuse to see what is obvious. Understand this deeply. What is written for you will come to you without forcing it. And what is not written for you will never stay, no matter how hard you try to hold on to it. So when your path is blocked, do not just feel frustrated. Pause, reflect, ask yourself honestly, is this a warning? Because sometimes the greatest mercy of Allah in your life is not what He gives you, but what He prevents you from reaching. And if you learn to recognize that, your entire life will change. When your heart stops responding, my beloved brothers and sisters, there is a stage in a person's life that is more dangerous than making mistakes, more dangerous than falling into the wrong path, more dangerous than being surrounded by the wrong people. And that stage is when the heart stops responding. At the beginning, when you do something you know is not right, your heart reacts. You feel it immediately. There is a discomfort you cannot ignore. A heaviness settles inside you. Even if no one else sees it, even if no one else knows, you feel it. That feeling is not there to make your life difficult. That feeling is a mercy. It is a signal that your heart is still alive, still connected, still able to recognize truth from falsehood. But what happens over time? A person begins to ignore that feeling. The first time, it is difficult. The second time, it becomes slightly easier. The third time, even easier. And slowly, something dangerous begins to take place. The heart starts adapting to what once disturbed it. What once made you uncomfortable now feels normal. What once made you hesitate now feels easy. What once made you feel guilty now doesn't affect you at all. And this is where the real warning begins. Because when the heart stops reacting, it does not mean you have found peace. It means you have lost sensitivity. It means the inner alarm that was protecting you is no longer being heard. Allah describes this reality in the Quran in a powerful way. Then your hearts became hardened after that, being like stones or even harder. Think about that image. A heart that was once soft, once responsive, once aware, becoming hard, not suddenly but gradually. Not in one moment, but through repeated ignoring of warnings, repeated turning away from truth, repeated choosing of what is wrong, even when you knew better. And once the heart becomes hard, something very serious happens. guidance no longer enters easily. You can hear reminders, but they don't move you. You can listen to truth, but it doesn't shake you. You can understand what is right, but you don't feel motivated to follow it. And this is one of the greatest warnings a person can experience, because it is silent. There is no loud sign, no sudden event, just a slow loss of connection. My beloved brothers and sisters, if your heart still feels something when you do wrong, hold on to that feeling. Do not silence it. Do not run away from it. That discomfort is your protection. That guilt is your guide. That heaviness is your reminder that you are still connected. Because as long as your heart responds, you can return. As long as you feel something, you can correct yourself. As long as there is even a small resistance inside you, there is still light within you. But if a person continues to ignore it, there may come a time when that feeling disappears completely. And when that happens, the person may continue in the wrong direction, believing everything is fine, while slowly moving further away from what truly matters. So reflect deeply. When was the last time your heart warned you and you ignored it? When was the last time you felt that discomfort but continued anyway? That moment was not random. It was not meaningless. It was a message. Do not wait for your heart to become silent, because a silent heart is not a peaceful heart. It is a heart that has stopped receiving warnings. When your connection with Allah begins to fade, my beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most serious warnings in your life does not come through a loss of money or a loss of people or even a loss of opportunities. It comes when your connection with Allah begins to fade slowly, quietly, almost unnoticed. At first, everything seems normal. You still pray, but something feels different. You still listen to reminders, but they no longer move you the way they used to. You still remember Allah, but your heart feels distant, distracted, disconnected. And you tell yourself it's just a phase. You say, I'll fix it later. You convince yourself that nothing is really wrong. But my beloved brothers and sisters, this is not something small. This is a warning, because your connection with Allah is not just one part of your life. It is the foundation of your entire life. When that connection is strong, everything else begins to align. Your decisions become clearer. Your heart becomes calmer. Your direction becomes stronger. Even your difficulties begin to make sense. But when that connection weakens, everything else begins to feel heavy. You start delaying your prayer instead of protecting it. You rush through it instead of feeling it. You find excuses instead of finding time. And slowly, something that once gave you peace starts to feel like a burden. That is not because prayer has changed. That is because your heart is sending you a warning. Allah says in the Quran, so woe to those who pray but are heedless of their prayer. Reflect on this deeply. It does not say those who do not pray. It speaks about those who pray but are careless, distracted, disconnected. This means even when you are doing the action, your heart may already be drifting away. And that is the danger. My beloved brothers and sisters, when your connection with Allah begins to fade, it does not happen all at once. It happens through small neglects that you ignore. You delay one prayer, then another. You skip a reminder, then another. You choose distraction over reflection again and again, until one day your heart feels empty, even when everything around you is fine. You begin to search for peace in other places. You look for it in people, in entertainment, in achievements, in distractions, but nothing fills that emptiness completely. Because that emptiness is not random. It is a message telling you, you are far from the one who gives true peace. My beloved brothers and sisters, understand this clearly. Allah does not need you, but you need Him. And when you begin to move away, He sends you signs to bring you back. That restlessness you feel is a warning. That lack of peace is a warning. That emptiness in your heart is a warning. It is not there to break you. It is there to wake you up. So do not ignore it. Do not delay it. Do not wait for a bigger sign, because the further you drift, the harder it becomes to return. But here is the beauty of it all. As long as you recognize this warning, it means the door is still open. It means you still have the chance to reconnect. It means Allah is still calling you back. So pause, reflect, return, strengthen your connection before it weakens further. Fix what you have been neglecting. Give your heart what it has been missing. Because once your connection with Allah becomes strong again, you will realize that the peace you were searching for everywhere else was always found with Him. When sin starts feeling normal, my beloved brothers and sisters, there is a stage that is more dangerous than committing a wrong action. And that stage is when the wrong action no longer feels wrong. At the beginning, when you do something you know is not right, your heart reacts immediately. You feel a discomfort. You feel a heaviness. Even if no one else knows, even if no one else sees, something inside you tells you clearly, this is not right. That feeling is not there to make you feel bad. That feeling is your protection. It is your inner warning system. It is a sign that your heart is still alive and still able to recognize truth. But what happens when that feeling is ignored again and again? The first time, it is difficult. The second time, it becomes easier. The third time, it begins to feel normal. And slowly, something very serious starts happening. Your sense of right and wrong begins to weaken. You begin to justify what you once questioned. You begin to accept what you once resisted. You begin to defend what you once knew was harmful. And this is where the warning becomes extremely serious. Because when a person reaches a point where they can do wrong without feeling anything, it means the heart is being covered little by little. Allah says in the Quran, no, rather the stain has covered their hearts because of what they used to earn. Reflect on this deeply. Every action leaves an effect on your heart. Every choice shapes it. When a person continues doing wrong without turning back, that effect begins to build up layer after layer until the heart can no longer see clearly. At that point, the person may think everything is fine. They continue their life normally. They feel comfortable in what they are doing. They do not sense any danger in their direction. But internally, something has changed. They no longer feel the weight of their actions. They no longer recognize the warnings being sent to them. They no longer realize how far they have drifted. And this is one of the greatest losses a person can experience. My beloved brothers and sisters, if you still feel guilt when you do something wrong, do not hate that feeling. Do not try to escape from it. Do not silence it. That feeling is your guide. That feeling is your protection. That feeling is a sign that your heart is still alive. Because as long as you feel something, you can still return. But if a person continues to ignore that feeling, there may come a time when it disappears completely. And when it disappears, the person may continue in the wrong direction without even realizing it. That is why warnings come early. That is why discomfort comes early. That is why you feel something inside you before things go too far. Not to punish you, but to bring you back. So ask yourself honestly, is there something in your life that once felt wrong, but now feels normal? That change did not happen suddenly. It happened because warnings were ignored. But even now, if you recognize it, it means the door is still open. Turn back before the heart becomes fully covered. Turn back while you can still feel. Turn back while the warning is still clear. Because the most dangerous moment is not when you fall. It is when you fall and no longer realize that you have fallen. When life starts shaking you. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when everything feels stable. Everything feels under control. Everything seems to be going exactly the way you planned. And then suddenly, without warning, everything begins to shake. A relationship breaks. A plan collapses. A door you depended on closes. A situation you trusted changes completely. And you find yourself standing in confusion, asking, why is this happening to me? You look around and nothing feels the same anymore. The comfort you once had begins to disappear. The certainty you once relied on turns into doubt. The people you thought would stay, leave. The things you thought would last, end. And in that moment, most people see only pain. But my beloved brothers and sisters, what if that moment is not destruction, but a warning? What if that shaking is not meant to break you, but to wake you up? Allah says in the Quran, and we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good news to the patient. Reflect on this deeply. Tests are not random. They are not meaningless. They are not signs that Allah has forgotten you. They are moments designed to bring you back to reality, to realign your heart, to remind you of what truly matters. Because sometimes when life is too comfortable, we become careless. We forget our purpose. We forget our direction. We forget our connection. We become so attached to what we have that we begin to believe it will always remain. We rely on people more than we rely on Allah. We trust our plans more than we trust His plan. And slowly, without realizing it, we drift away. So what does Allah do? He shakes your life, not to destroy you, but to wake you. That sudden difficulty you face is a message. That unexpected loss is a reminder. That painful moment is a warning. It is telling you, you have become too attached to something temporary. My beloved brothers and sisters, understand this clearly. Everything in this world is temporary. Every person, every situation, every opportunity, it can change at any moment. But instead of preparing ourselves for that reality, we hold on tightly as if nothing will ever change. So when something is taken away, we feel broken. When something ends, we feel lost. When something collapses, we feel like everything is over. But what if that loss is actually a protection? What if Allah removed something before it harmed you? What if He ended something before it destroyed you? What if He changed your path because the one you were on was not leading you to peace? We often judge situations based on how they feel in the moment. If it hurts, we think it is bad. If it is easy, we think it is good. But reality is deeper than that. There are moments that feel painful but lead to growth. There are moments that feel comfortable but lead to loss. And only Allah sees the full picture. My beloved brothers and sisters, when your life starts shaking, do not just look at what you lost, look at what you are being shown. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? Is it teaching me to rely less on people and more on Allah? Is it teaching me to let go of something I was holding on to too tightly? Is it teaching me that my plans are not always what is best for me? Because every difficulty carries a message, and every message is a form of guidance. But here is the danger. Many people experience these moments and still do not change. They go through pain, but learn nothing. They face loss, but reflect on nothing. They are shaken, but remain asleep. And so the cycle continues. My beloved brothers and sisters, do not let that be you. When life shakes you, stop, reflect, realign. Because these moments are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to bring you closer to the truth. They are meant to remind you that this life is not permanent. They are meant to show you that your control is limited. They are meant to guide you back to the one who never changes. Allah says in the Quran, and when harm touches man, He calls upon us. Then when we bestow on him a favor from us, he says, I have only been given it because of my knowledge. Rather, it is a trial. But most of them do not know. This verse reveals something very deep. Sometimes when things go well, we think it is because of us, because of our effort, our intelligence, our planning. But when things go wrong, we feel lost. That is why these moments are so important. They break the illusion that you are fully in control. They remind you that everything you have comes from Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, pain is not always your enemy. Sometimes pain is the only thing that brings you back. It makes you reflect. It makes you think. It makes you realize what you were ignoring. And without that pain, you may have continued in the same direction without ever stopping. So when your life begins to shake, do not only ask, why is this happening? Ask yourself, what is Allah showing me through this? Because sometimes the greatest warning in your life does not come in comfort. It comes in discomfort. It comes in loss. It comes in moments that force you to pause and see clearly. And if you understand that, if you reflect on it, if you respond to it, that moment that once felt like the end may become the beginning of something far better, a stronger connection, a clearer path, a deeper understanding. My beloved brothers and sisters, do not ignore these moments, because sometimes Allah shakes your world so He can rebuild your heart. And if you respond to that warning with patience, with reflection, with sincerity, you will realize that what you thought was breaking you was actually saving you. Ignoring warnings leads to regret. My beloved brothers and sisters, there is one thing in this life that no one can escape, and that is the feeling of regret. Not the small regrets of daily choices, but the deep, heavy regret that settles in the heart when a person finally realizes they were warned, but they chose to ignore it. Regret does not come suddenly. It builds slowly. It grows quietly. It waits patiently. And then one day it arrives all at once, heavy, undeniable, impossible to ignore. It is the moment when everything becomes clear. When you finally understand why that feeling was there, when you finally realize why that door kept closing, when you finally see why that path never felt right. But by that time, the opportunity to change may not be as easy as it once was. My beloved brothers and sisters, Allah does not leave you without guidance. He does not abandon you without signs. He does not allow you to walk blindly without sending reminders, warning signals, and moments of reflection. But the question is, what do you do with those warnings? Do you pause and reflect, or do you continue as if nothing happened? Do you change direction, or do you justify your actions? Do you listen to your heart, or do you silence it? Because every time you ignore a warning, you take one step closer to regret. And regret is not just about what you did. It is about what you knew, but still chose to ignore. It is about the moment when your heart told you to stop, but you continued. It is about the moment when you felt something was wrong, but you convinced yourself it was fine. It is about the moment when you had the chance to change, but you delayed it. And the most painful part of regret is this: you cannot go back to that exact moment. You cannot relive it. You cannot undo it completely. You cannot return to the same opportunity in the same way. That is why warnings are given early. That is why signs are sent before consequences arrive. That is why you feel discomfort before things fall apart. Allah says in the Quran, and follow the best of what was revealed to you from your Lord before the punishment comes upon you suddenly while you do not perceive. Reflect on this deeply. It is telling you, act before it is too late. Respond before the moment passes. Listen before the consequences arrive. Because when something happens suddenly, there is no time to prepare. My beloved brothers and sisters, many people live their lives ignoring small warnings. They ignore the discomfort in their heart. They ignore the signs in their life. They ignore the reminders they hear. And they continue thinking there is always time. But time is not guaranteed. There comes a moment when a person looks back and realizes, I should have listened. I should have changed. I should have taken that warning seriously. But by then, the damage has already been done. The relationship is gone. The opportunity is lost. The heart has become distant. And the person is left with one thing: regret. But here is something powerful you must understand. Regret itself is also a warning. If you feel regret, it means you still have awareness. It means you still have the ability to recognize what went wrong. It means you still have the chance to change what comes next. Because the worst type of person is not the one who makes mistakes. It is the one who makes mistakes and feels nothing. My beloved brothers and sisters, as long as you are alive, the door is still open. You can still turn back. You can still correct your direction. You can still respond to the warnings you once ignored, but do not delay it. Do not say, I will fix it tomorrow. Do not say, I will change later. Do not say, I will think about it another time. Because tomorrow is not promised. Later is not guaranteed. Another time may never come. Allah gives you warnings today because today is the moment you can act. He gives you signs now because now is when you can change. He allows your heart to feel, because that feeling is your chance to return. My beloved brothers and sisters, imagine standing at a point in your life where everything becomes clear, where you see every warning you ignored, every sign you overlooked, every moment you could have changed but did not. That is a painful place to be. So do not wait for that moment. Respond now. If something in your life feels wrong, fix it now. If your heart feels distant, return now. If you know something is not right, change it now. Because every warning you listen to today saves you from regret tomorrow. And every warning you ignore today becomes a regret you carry later. My beloved brothers and sisters, Allah does not warn you to harm you. He warns you because He wants to protect you. He warns you because He wants to guide you. He warns you because He wants you to succeed, not just in this life, but in what comes after. So do not take His warnings lightly. Listen carefully, reflect deeply, act sincerely. Because the difference between a person who finds peace and a person who lives with regret is simple. One of them listened and the other one ignored. Choose to be the one who listens before it is too late. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there is one truth I want you to carry with you after listening to this, it is this. Allah has already spoken to you more times than you realize. Not always through words, but through moments, through feelings, through changes in your life, through doors that opened and doors that closed. Every discomfort you felt was a message. Every hesitation in your heart was guidance. Every situation that didn't work was protection. But the question is not whether Allah is warning you. The question is, are you finally ready to listen? Because the signs are already there. The warnings have already been given. The truth has already reached your heart. What remains now is your response. Will you continue the same path, hoping things will change on their own? Or will you pause, reflect, and choose a different direction? My beloved brothers and sisters, you do not need a bigger sign. You do not need a louder warning. You do not need something dramatic to happen in your life to wake you up. This moment, right now, is enough. If something inside you feels unsettled, do not ignore it. If you know something in your life is not right, do not delay it. If your heart is calling you back, do not silence it. Turn back while you can. Fix what you can. Change what you can. Because every step you take towards what is right brings you closer to peace. And remember this, Allah does not warn you to push you away. He warns you because He cares about you. He warns you because He sees what you cannot see. He warns you because He wants you to return before it's too late. So do not leave this reminder as just another video you watched. Let it be a turning point, a moment where you stop ignoring, a moment where you start listening, a moment where you choose to change. Because the life you are meant to live, the peace you are searching for, the clarity you are waiting for, it all begins the moment you finally listen to the warnings you once ignored.